you're welcome to my channel. This is Deritzystitch Fashion School. Today's episode is episode 5, and we're going to be talking about how to cut 3/4 straight skirts. Thank you so much if you're just joining this channel today. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button and click on the bell button so that you get a notification anytime we post a new video. And those of you that are subscribed to my channel, I am so grateful. Thank you so much. You are the reason why I will continue doing this program. And today, let's get to our business. Okay, now I have 4 measurements on the board to cut these skirts. Like I told you, you need basically 4 measurements to make any type of skirts. The last time we talked about a flare skirt, we actually used 2 measurements. We used the waist and the length. But today we're having the waist 38, we have the hip 39, we have waist to knee 20, and skirt length 27. You can see in brackets, this is short form of writing, abbreviating your measurements. So let's get to business by drawing what we're going to sew. It's always advisable to have a sketch of what you're going to sew. It helps to remind you of the features of what you're going to sew, so you will not forget anything at all. So you'll be able to apply them. So the first thing you do is to try to make some lines, guidelines, to help you to be able to sketch, especially people that are beginners. So we are going to draw a line like for where we're going to we're going to sketch the band. That's the waist area. Go down a little. For the hip area, then we come down a little for the knee length area. So we're going to draw front and back of the skirts, because something is going on at the back. The back is not the same design with the front, so we have to indicate how the back is going to have overlapping at the back, and the skirt is going to also have a zip at the back. So we have to indicate that in our sketch. The first thing we do on the skirt, we have to draw the band. So like I said, first of all, you make a curve when you want to draw a band of the skirt. Make a sketch. You make another sketch, another curve here. Bring down this line. Bring down this line. And look at this. Try to go down a little. Come out a little here so that just draw like you're making you draw a straight line here. Go out a little, draw a straight line here. Now, try to go and meet this place. Just perforate it. Just to help you. Bring down this a little again. Bring down this a little. And like ½ inch. Now this place, try to go down, but go in a little. Try to go down, come in a little. Now try to go and meet this one here. Try to go and meet this one here. It's good to perforate so that just perforate when you're drawing, so that if you make a mistake, you can easily clean. Later you draw the real line. And this is the knees area, this is the hip area, So we bring it down a little bit. It's a 3/4 skirt. Just go straight down. Go straight down. Now I have my skirts. You can now join this line. Here's the front skirts. Join the line now. Try to make your skirts more, more real. Just shade this place, shade this area. This is the front skirts. And it's going to have that here. And that's that over there. And let's come over here and draw the back side. Like I said, start with your band first. Make a curve. Make a curve here too. Now try to come down here, like you're going straight, come out from there. Draw your line here. Go out a little by half, like this. Then try to go here, go in a little. Try to go here, go in a little. So you start drawing here, perforate, try to meet up for this place. Bring down this one a little, bring down this one a little. So now you can now join this place to get your perfect shape. Interior is also going to have that here, then there's a zipper and a straight line. And this is the knee area, the overlapping a little bit up the knee here for free movements. So as you can see here, this is the dart, this is the dart, this is the dart, this is the dart, and this is the zipper, this overlap, and we have to clean these lines now to make our skirt stand out. And this is the back of the skirts. These darts. And this is a overlap. And this is your zipper. As you can see, what we have done right now, you can see your skirts and you can see your skirts. Please Please, I'm not an expert, but I have an idea what I'm going to draw. So please, those of you who are very good with drawing, you can do better than this. So this is what we're going to actually cut right now on the table. Okay, this is the fabric I'm going to be cutting my straight skirt from. But before I cut my skirt, I have to work out this fabric is large. I need to bring out the fabric I'll be working on to actually cut out my skirts. Please always make sure that you cut from the back so that if there's any chalk stain, it will not show in the front of the material. This is my material I'm going to be working with. And if I want to get out my fabric, the length and the width area, I have to use two measurements. One, to get out my width, I have to use the waistline. And to get out my length, I have to use the length of the skirt. So I need to add some allowance before I now cut out what I'm going to be working with, where I'm going to shape my skirts. So I will use the hip. The hip is 39. I'm going to add 39 plus 6. This 6 is always constant for me when I want to make a straight skirt. I will have my allowance, seam allowance there, and even where to shape it out. So I will have 45. Now, this 45, I'll further divide into 2 to get the front out and get the back out. So, the front of the skirt, for me to get the front of the skirt, I'll further divide this 45 into 2. I will get 22.5 and the back 22.5. But the back of the skirt has overlapping. So, I need to add extra allowance. So, I will add 22.5 plus 5 inches. These 5 inches will enable me to get my zip and my overlapping at the back. Then the skirt length, we have 27. I'm going to add 4 inches to the length. That is basic for me. Anytime I am making a skirt, a straight skirt, I add 4 inches for seam allowance and everything. So I will add 4 inches. When I add 4 inches to 27, I will get 31. So that's what I'm going to be cutting. I'm going to cut out the length 31 and I'm going to cut out the width, front 22.5 and the back 22.5 plus 5. That is 27.5. So we're going to go ahead to get out this fabric first before we start shaping. That's if you have a large fabric, so that you will not be wasting your fabric trying to shape your skirts. So this is the front one lying on top. So I'll get out the length 31. It's 31. Remember, we are measuring in inches. We use inches, that's what we're using. 31 inches for the length. Now, this one up here is the front, and this over here is the down. So, since I folded them into 2, the lengths are the same already, and then this back, all I need, since it's 22.5 plus 5, I just add my 5 under extending the measurements of the back by 5. So the measurement of the back So I'm about cutting it out. The front and the back is already together. So we separate the front and the back. So this is try to mark your fabric, the back side, so that you'll be able to recognize it when you are sewing. Because sometimes the fabric, there is no difference between the front and the back. So you need to differentiate them by ticking the back. So now that we have the front, this is the front, this is the back. So we're going to do something to the back so that we'll be able to place them together to cut at the same time. So I'm going to fold again into 2, that the width side, not the length side, making them equal. Now this is the back side. Since I have actually folded into 2, I want to now fold away what's the difference between this and the front side, because this one is actually 5 inches wider than the front by width. So I have to now mark out, since I folded into 2, it's going to be 2.5. The 5 I added, I'll mark it out. Two and a half inch. Mark it out, then you fold. You fold the place that you actually mark, the 2.5, fold it so that you will make this and the front equal to pin them. So when you finish pinning it, you further place the fronts. It will make both the front and the back now equal, so you can shape out your skirts. And here they are not equal. So they are equal now. So I'm going to shape the skirts. I'm going to shape the skirt now. So we have the waist as 38. We have our fabric folded into 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So everything we're going to be doing here, we're going to be measuring this way. The bit area we're going to actually divide into 4 because it's folded into 4. So we're going to start with the waist. This is the waist area. This is the bottom. So we're going to divide the 38 into 4, and we have 9.5. So we're going to place our tape here. This is your tape. Make sure that this is the area that is close, and that's the center. This center of your skirts, where the zip will be, and the center of the back. And this is the area that is open. This is the area you are going to shape. Please be careful you don't shape this way, because you cut the middle of your skirt open. So this way, always place your tape, where the tape starts from. Put it on where the middle of your skirt is to measure. And this is your 9.5. We're actually going to add our sewing allowance. This is 9.5, and this is 10.5. That is our sewing allowance plus 1, plus another 1 for that. So as you can see, my 6 inches I added was able to cover up whatever I want to do on the waist area. Now the hip. Now the length from the waist area to the hip is usually 8 inches. But I'm going to add band to this, and it's going to increase even the hip area. So I usually, if I'm going to add band, I usually use 7.5. I will deduct half inches from the 8 inches, because when I add the band is going to extend the waist to the hip. So I will use 7.5. Now this skirt, this 8.5 depends on the person. Some people don't actually wear their skirt on where their belly button is. Some people actually wear their skirt low. So you could use 6.5, you can use 6, depending on where the person wears the skirt. So you just have to take the measurement of the person's body to know. So usually if people wear their skirt low waist, I usually use 6.5 instead of 8.5, instead of 8 for the people. So these are the things you should consider when you are taking the measurements from waist to hip. So as you can see, her knee length is 20. Her knee length is 20. But I'm not going to actually place this knee length exactly here. I'm going to go up by 4 so that she'll be able to move when she's walking. So I'm going to actually start my knee length here. I will take it up by 4. It's constant for me, and when I take it up by 4, I'll be getting 16. When I take it up by 4, so this is my knee length here, and this is my hip area. So from here I mark my knee length, that was 16. So you can see I will now measure my hip. The hip area here, we have 39. So we divide 39 into 4 places because our fabric is folded into 4. We'll have 9 3/4. So I've taught you how to read your tape, 9 3/4. half of 39 is actually 19 and a half, and half of 19 and a half will give you 9 and a half, and you have another half, that is, you divide by half again, that you get 9 3/4. As you can see, this is your 9 and this is your 9 and a half, this is your 9 3/4. So I'm going to apply it on the hip area. So I have 9 3/4. I'm going to add extra 1 inch for sewing allowance, that is 10 3/4. So I'll mark it. Now look at how I'm going to mark it. I'm going to mark it across the line, like coming down by 1 and coming down, going up by 1 inch again, so that I will connect to this place. The owner of this skirt actually is she's a little bit, she has, her waist is big somehow, so it's big, so that's why you have this shape like this. So I'm going to come over here, whatever I've got here, whatever I've gotten here is, I got 10 3/4. I'm going to go to the knee length area, and I'm going to go in by 1, whatever I got from here. You can go in by 1 and a half, depending on how the person wants it slim downwards. So this is 10 3/4. I'll go in by 1, making it 9 3/4. So I'm going to put my tape here. Now draw my line to go and meet here. Then I'm going to come down from here, straight down. That's why it's called straight skirts. I'm going to come down straight down. That's why it's called straight down. So whatever measurement I have here, I'm going to take it down here. That's why it's called straight skirts. So these are your skirts that I've now we can now cut the skirts. So these are your straight skirts that I've just cut. Now this is the front skirt here. I'm going to separate them, and then you're going to make, most times when people make a straight skirt or skirt, you get to see some fold in front of the tummy. You see excess fabric, and you see some people dragging it even furthermore above the belly button so that it won't fold. So why not help the person cut out like 2 inches in front, so that she wouldn't want to do that. You just shape your 2 inches away from, like making a curve, come to the center, shape out your 2 inches again. You do that only in front of the skirt. Measure your 1 inch where you're going to sew, like sewing allowance, before you join the curve. From that place, join your curve. So I'm going to cut it out just so. This is the front skirt, and the front skirts, the shape of the skirt. Our straight skirt is almost looking so beautiful. You can see it's a front skirt already. So we're going to do something to the baskets again. We'll now open up this. The baskets. So I'll cut it open, the baskets. So that's it on the skirt today. So we're going to actually shape out the lining for these skirts. We're going to actually line them. So I'm going to show you how to cut out your lining following the shape of the skirt. We have a large lining here. So I'm going to fold. So here is the back of the skirts. So I can just take one of it, since they are separated, lay it down here. There's something I'm going to do right now, is either you cut this lining out afterward or you do it right away. I don't need this 2.5 for the lining at the back. I just need extra 2 inches for the back of the lining. So I'm going to, since this is actually 2.5 when we actually folded it into 2, so I'm going to need only 1 inch. So I'm going to bring out like 1.5 out here while I shape my skirts. 1.5 out, so that it will remain only 1 here for the lining. So I'll measure my 1.5 out, place it out from the lining. So when I get the lining, it's just plus 2 inches. So I'll measure out my 1.5 out. So by the time I cut my lining, it's going to be exactly just 2 inches to the back. That's what I need at the back of the lining. So I'm going to cut right now. This is the back. I just use one end, one side to get at than the skirts. So I just take notes of the listing, because I'm going to actually shorten the lining by 4 inches when you are making a straight skirt. I'll shorten it by 4 inches. So I'll cut it out from here. So there's no point wasting your fabric, your lining. So you can now cut open your lining. And this is the back lining. I'm done with it. If you can see this waist, this width side, the lining is longer, but the length, the lining is shorter. These are the things you should take note of. So we're done with the skirts. We're done with the skirts for today. We're done cutting the skirt today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Make sure you join us in our other episodes, so that you're going to see how we're going to finish up the skirt and how lovely it will come out. I cannot wait to finish up the skirt. And if you know that this is your first time, remember to subscribe so that you'll be able to see the end of this skirt. Please don't leave anything half done. Try to make your own skirt too. Try to cut something. Try it out. See what you can do. And if you're looking for any way you want to reach me, please, the comment section is there. Just drop your questions or comments, and also share so that other people like your friends, family will get to know about this program. Thank you so much, and thank you all that make me remain in this channel. Thank you so much. Bye.